5 Hello. I've known him since we were high school classmates. And many of us are trying to win over this, and it's true that we've all been afraid of his confrontations, not because he's bold and authoritarian, but because he's deeply cultural, wide-ranging, and very observant. His confrontation was always resolved by the same result that we all fear, the fact that I was not close to and only faced with him once when we met on an evening with a colleague and our concepts differed about the reality of hypocrisy and the extent of the hypocritical excuse. He felt that hypocrisy was the result of the weakness of the concept and belief of the hypocrite and wasting in his value system, which makes the immediate interest control him in the conduct of crooked behavior to achieve it through recklessness, condemnation, lies and denial. These are features that make man credible and unreliable, which harms society if he takes care of something in the interests of the people, and I saw that hypocrisy is an emergency state of mind dependent on the struggle of man with his surroundings in order to protect his self and moral entity, disappears with the availability of guarantee of freedom of living, gain, and expression, and because our discussion was cultural, nature has long boasted us in showing our intellectual store of martyrdom. An analysis. This made each other admire each other without declaring for fear of admitting defeat, and the relationship between us then became cautious and did not go beyond the compliments of colleagues until we left school and each of us walked in another way. 30 years later, on an unscheduled date, I met my friend on the plane and in the chair next to me. I didn't know him at first, and I guessed what I became today, a man filled with hypocrisy and flatness. I was blaming myself for her weakness and shattering her pride, and in a moment you take over the image of that discussion that took place between us, and I remember my opinion in the hypocrite, so I shuddered indignation at myself, and the tone of self-reproach rises by cursing and disparaging my weakness and falling into the abyss of hypocrisy, and then your article realizes that hypocrisy is a state of mind that disappears with the demise.